Hello Year 5, today is Wednesday the 20th of January. Today is your English lesson and our learning objective today is to summarise short stories. So we've seen that word before in lessons in school. When we are summarising, we are making a brief, short description of what has happened in a particular story. So just as a little starter, quick task, your quick task is to retell a well-known fairy tale to somebody in school or in your household. So for example, it could be the story of Little Red Riding Hood, The Three Little Pigs, or Hansel and Gretel, a story that you would have been told when you were little, and it is a story that is often revisited throughout school, so you should know that story or at least one of them really well. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes, couple of minutes to go and do that. If you don't have anybody to talk to in your household or at school, you can, or if they're busy, you can just quickly write down quick summary of what happens in those stories. Off you go and do that task, boys and girls. Okay, so what I would like you to do on this slide is to click on the link and listen to the whole of chapter 2 called My Grandmother from the book The Witches. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can click on the link via the description box, which is just underneath the video, or if you are using Teams, you can click on the link straight from the PowerPoint. Whilst you are listening, I want you to pay close attention to the short stories of the children who mysteriously disappeared. Okay, make notes about who they were, what happened, when it happened, where it happened, and why. Okay, slide 4. The first child that goes missing. So along the side there, we've got the questions that will help us form our summary of this short story. So we've got who, what happened, when it happened, where it happened, why, and you can maybe think about how it could have happened. So I'm going to read this little extract and then I'm going to think about how I could summarise that to make it even shorter, even though this is quite a short story. The first child I knew who disappeared, she said, was called Ragnhild Hansen. Ragnhild was about 8 at the time and she was playing with her little sister on the lawn. Their mother, who was baking bread in the kitchen, came outside for a breath of air. "Where's Ragnhild?" she asked. "She went away with the tall lady," the little sister said. "What tall lady?" the mother said. "The tall lady in white gloves," the little sister said. "She took Ragnhild by the hand and led her away." No one, my grandmother said, ever saw Ragnhild again. So, thinking about wanting to summarise that story into just 1 or 2 sentences so I could retell it to somebody else, giving them the key information. So, who? Ragnhild Hansen was taken by a tall lady when she was about 8. At the time she was playing on the lawn with her younger sister. I think she might have been taken by a witch because they want to eradicate and get rid of all children. Now, it doesn't tell us how in the story, but I think she might have persuaded Ragnhild to come with her, to maybe by using sweets. So that is how you would summarise a story, so to make it as short as possible, making sure that you include the key information in order to retell that story. Okay, on this slide it shows you the extract about the second child. Okay, it goes over this slide and the following slide here, so it's the second child continued. So you can read through these 2 slides here and begin to pull out the information that you need in order to make your summary. So there's 5 W's and also thinking about the how. Okay, remembering that witches don't use knives and things like that, which they could get caught from the police. They use their magic and their devilry. So look closely about how the witches trap and make Solveig disappear. Okay, on this slide, I've given an example of how a summary should look. So I went back to the video, read through and listened to the extract about the third child, and then I used that to make a brief summary. So here is what I have written. Birgit Svensson, who lived near the narrator's grandmother in Norway, started growing feathers one day. Within a month, she turned into a large white chicken. Her parents decided to keep her in a pen and use her eggs, which were brown and huge, to make omelettes. So as you can see, boys and girls, it's a very short summary. Also, just a little note there, in the book you are never told the name of the young boy. Okay, he's just called the narrator, so he hasn't got a name the same as the grandmother doesn't have a name. So that's what it means by the narrator there, that just means the young boy. Okay, now that you've listened to and we've had a little practice together of summarising the different stories, your task is to make a brief summary about all of the 5 children that have disappeared in the story. Okay, so if you are working through Teams, you can just write straight onto the Word document there. Also, if you don't have access to Teams, you can go on to our school website and the link for the worksheet is there for you to write on. If you don't have access to Teams or the school website, you can just write your brief summary about each child in your home learning book. Okay, good luck, boys and girls. I'm looking forward to reading some of these. Okay, your last little extra task is to draw a coloured picture of what each child looked like after they've been turned into whatever it is that they were turned into after their encounter with a witch. You can draw the picture in your home learning book, take a picture and upload it to Teams. If you don't have access to Teams, you can just show us your pictures when you return to school. Looking forward to seeing some of those.